I'm using Katopu yarn, AK Soft, 100 grams, shade number 8K899. My needles are 6 millimeters. The pattern for this vest is pretty simple. The back and the front look alike. So I've just finished my back and I want to show you how to do the front, which will be the same as this one. Then at the bottom or at the hem, I have 2x1 rib knitting. On one side we have one knit stitch. This is the wrong side. One row of knitting and then 2 of purl. Then on the right side it's 2 knits and 1 purl. There's a tutorial for this up on my channel, but I'll show you a different way of casting on this project. After you're done with the ribbing, for the next rows till you're done with your project, you'll just be knitting on the right side and purling on the wrong side. So remember, knit stitch is opposite of a purl stitch. So when you're on the wrong side, you purl. On the right side, you're going to knit. Another thing to remember about this project is that it has an overlap on both sides of the seam. They both have an overlap. So this one will overlap onto the back, and then I will attach this and put on a button just for aesthetics. So this pattern of ribbing continues on up to the armhole. To cast on 87 rows plus 16 more stitches so that you can have this effect of 2x1 ribbing on the side. To start, make a slip knot. Make sure it's tight enough. So basically this way of casting on a loop gives birth to another loop. To make your first cast on stitch, insert your needle just the way you would if you were knitting. Then wrap your yarn around the needle, pull up a loop, then instead of taking it off, put it back onto that needle. There's our first cast on stitch. Then the next one again, insert your needle, wrap the yarn, take off the loop, put it back. For our second stitch, you do the same. Insert your needle, wrap your yarn, pull up that loop and put it back. That's our third. Just make sure your stitches are tight enough. Then again, insert needle, wrap yarn, pull up the loop, then put it back. The next one, insert needle, wrap the yarn, pull up a loop, and put it back. There. The next one again, insert needle, wrap the yarn, pull up a loop, put it back. So you do this till the end, till you have 87 plus 16 stitches. Continuing on till I have 103 stitches on my needle. I've cast on my 103 stitches. Now I'm going to make the 2x1 ribbing. So on the right side, we're starting with the purl and then knit. This is the wrong side. It's a knit, then 2 purls. On the right side, it's a purl and then 2 knits, purl, then 2 knits. The other side is the same as well. Starts with the or ends with the purl and then 2 knits. First stitch is going to be a purl, and then the next 2 will be knit stitches. So one, and then another one. So we'll just make this ribbing all through till the end of the row. So one purl, two knits, one purl, two knits. Just finished the first row on the right side. Then on the wrong side, you're going to start with a knit since you ended with a purl. So on the right side, we have one purl, then two knits, one purl, then two knits. On the wrong side, it's one knit, then two purls, one knit, then two purls. So that stitch will start with the knit stitch. One knit stitch, then two purl stitches, then knit, and then two purls. One and two. Remember, our knit stitches form a V and our purl stitches form a bump. So on the wrong side, this is a purl, then two knits. Sorry, it's two purls, then one knit. Two purls, one knit. On the right side, it's two knits and one purl. We've made two purl stitches. The next one is a knit stitch, and we just continue through till the end. You can refer to another tutorial I made on the 2x1 knitting, and we're going to make 10 rows of this ribbing before we go on to the body of the garment, where we'll have knit stitches on the right side, purl stitches on the wrong side, but on the side we have that ribbing continuing on. So I'm done with the 10 rows of ribbing, making sure that I end my stitch on the right side. Next, we're going to start making the main body of the garment. You can see from here we had the ribbing, then the body, which mostly has a purl stitch on the wrong side and knit stitch on the right side. Remember, our pattern has an overlap on the sides, so we're going to make this sort of ribbing continuous on the sides for the panel. So what you want to do is make the first stitch a purl stitch, then two knit stitches on the right side, then a purl again, two knit stitches, and the last purl stitch that is on the right side. So one purl, two knit, one purl, two knit, and then a purl. Continue with the pattern. The first stitch is a purl stitch, so one purl stitch, then two knit stitches, one, two, then another purl stitch. Remember, we had an additional 8 stitches on the side. This is for this overlap. Then two knit stitches, two, and then last purl. So in total you've made these are seven stitches. Then from here you just continue knitting till you get to the last stitches where we'll have this pattern again. So from here just knitting all through till we get to the other side. Knit. So you knit till you have 7 stitches remaining. 1, 2, 3. So I have one extra stitch. 7. Then from there you make a purl stitch, just like the way you did on the other side. Purl. Then 2 knits. One, two, then another purl, then 2 knits, then lastly a purl. Again, this is to have this effect on the sides or on the seams of our vest. Then turning over to the wrong side. On the right side, if your stitch was a knit, on the wrong side, it's going to be a purl. There's a purl on the right side, on the wrong side, it's going to be a knit. So you can just see this is a knit on the wrong side, and on the right side, it's a purl. So starting off this row, we're going to make a purl stitch, just one purl stitch since we're on the wrong side. Sorry, a knit stitch, and then 2 purl stitches, okay. And then a knit stitch, and then 2 purls, and then 2 purls, ensuring that in total you have 7 stitches. These are 6, 1 more, a knit, and after the knit we're going to purl all through since it's on the wrong side of our garment. So you'll purl through till the end, sorry, till you have 7 stitches remaining. Then you just do the ribbing as you have been doing before. I've purled till I've had 7 stitches remaining on the needle. Next we'll be making 1 knit stitch, 1, then 2 purl stitches, then another knit stitch, then 2 purl stitches, just till the end of the row, then a knit, then 2 purls, and then 1 last knit. Now we're done with the second row of the main body, and it's on the wrong side. Changing on to the right side, you're going to switch your ribbing to purl, 1 purl, then 2 knits, 1 purl, then 2 knits. Remember, our knit stitch forms a V. Here's our knit stitch, and then our purl forms bumps. So this is the most easiest way to tell between a knit stitch and a purl stitch. And if you stretch your project just a little, you can just see the different stitches. So this is 2 knit stitches and a purl. So remaining, we'll start with 7 stitches. So purl, 2 knits, a purl, 2 knits, and then you continue with a knit stitch on the right side. Then we'll just continue stitching this way till we get to our armhole. So from the bottom, here's where we're at the moment, all through to the armhole. Then from there we'll shape our work. We'll shape our vest to differentiate where our armhole starts and ends. You can actually measure yourself and determine how long you need to knit. The armhole usually is at the bust point for ladies. This is where your armhole is. I'll just let you know in a bit how much you should knit in inches for this particular size. That's basically 8.5 stitches. Sorry, 8.5 inches till you get to the armhole for this size. For the smaller or the larger size, just measure your bust point or from the armhole all the way to your waist. So after getting to our armhole, or roughly 8.5 inches, we're going to bind off 9 stitches in the beginning of the next 2 rows. So with knitting, you bind off or at the beginning, then we'll come and bind off again at the start of this second row on this other side. So just a quick recap: when you're casting or binding off, you knit as you would, or you purl as you would. So we'll have 2 stitches on our right needle. Then from there, you just loop that first stitch over the second stitch you've made, like so. So we've cast off 1 stitch, then the next one. Make sure to count 9 stitches in total. The second one. Then according to our pattern, the next stitch is a purl. So we'll purl the next one, and then take it off. That's 3. Then the next stitch is a knit. So you'll do this till you have cast off 4 stitches. So this is 5. Next stitch is a purl. And as you bind off, your pretty pattern is still forming according to our pattern, our side. And then knit. That's 7. Then again a knit. That's 8. And the next one is still a knit. Then 9. Then from here, just continue on with your pattern till the end, this end without binding off. So I'll just continue knitting until I get to the end, and then from there I'll show you how to bind off on this other side. This is my last stitch, and it's a purl before I start my next row. Okay, after that we're done. Then again we're going to cast off or bind off 9 stitches from this side. The first stitch is a knit, then the next 2 are purls, after the first purl we're going to take the first loop or stitch over that second one. So we've bind off 1, then we purl, then take it off and bind off the second stitch, then knit, and take it off, then we continue till you've cast off 9 stitches, then continue knitting. So I finished binding off on this side as well, 9 stitches, and we had already bound off 9 stitches on this other side. So I'll continue purling. There's no overlap on this side, so we'll just continue knitting and purling till we get to the shoulder. We're going to shape the shoulder, so just keep knitting till your project gets to the appropriate height to shape your shoulders. So you're going to continue knitting from the armhole till your garment measures around 8 inches from this point, 8 inches. Then from there we're going to shape our shoulders, and we'll start by binding off 6 stitches from the beginning of each row. So from here I'm going to bind off 6 stitches, sorry. Remember, while binding off, we knit first or purl first, purl 2, and then you pass that stitch over the next one. 1, 2, 6 stitches over the next 4 rows. Second, then third one, this one, then the last one. From here you continue stitching, knitting till the end. Then at the beginning of the next row we're going to cast off or bind off another 6 stitches. So I'll meet you at the beginning of the next row. So I've gotten to the end of that first row that I have bound off or cast off on one side, and I just knitted all through. So the beginning of the next row I'm going to cast off again another 6 stitches. So this will be our second row that we have bound off. Please remember that we started binding off our work at the armhole so that we can shape the armhole, and we bound off 9 stitches on this side and another 9 stitches on this other side. So our total number of stitches are 103. Then we bound off 18 to have 85 stitches. Then we're going to bind off another 24 stitches while we're shaping the shoulders. Again, we're going to cast off 6 stitches on the second row. So just purl, then cast off. So you're going to do this casting off 2 more times, one on the knit side and another one on the purl side. First stitch, second, and the third one. Just continue on, and then I'll meet you again when you're done shaping the shoulders. After casting off 6 stitches on the next 4 rows, as you have done, these are my cast stitches on those rows. On the next row we're going to bind off 5 stitches. We'll bind off 5 stitches and then just pattern till we have 13 stitches left on our needle. So this is how you do it. 5, cast off 5 of them, then work till you have 13 stitches remaining on the needle. And so at this point we want to shape the shoulders, the neck, 2, then the third one, and 4, and then the last one. So from here on I'll knit till I have 13 stitches on my needle. So I've just finished working my 13 stitches. I have 13 stitches on this needle. What I want to do next is called a slip knit pass over, and then I turn, because we're going to shape now our neck. We're going to have an opening here and then shape the neck and also the rest of the shoulders. So the way this is done is you take off your stitch as if you just you're not working out normally as you would, and then you knit into that next stitch, Then after you have worked that stitch, you take the first one that you didn't work and pass it over the one that you just work usually. So there I have it. I've done my SKPO on this stitch. Then from here on I will turn my work and then just work on this side. These other stitches are on hold because I'm not going to be working on them at the moment. I'm going to work this one till I finish, then change sides and come to this other side. So I finished I'm working on my right side, and then I'll come back and work on the left side. So after that last stitch, what you're going to do is you're going to just work your stitches, your pattern into that next row. You can see after I've done this, there's a separation here. It shows that this end has been separated. So we'll just work on our wrong side till we get to the beginning of the next row. I finished working that row. You can see the separation here for our neck and our shoulders. So the next row, again, we're still binding off. We're going to bind off 4 stitches on this side. Then we'll knit till we have 2 stitches remaining on our needle. Then we will do the SKPO once again. 2, 3, 4. And from here, just continue working till you have 2 stitches remaining on your needle. Then we'll repeat this last 2 rows once again. Okay, here we are at the slip knit passover. Take off your stitch just the way you would without working, then knit into the next one, take it off, and then pass up another stitch over that. Then we have it. We're done with that side of the shoulder. After this, what we'll do next is we'll again work on these stitches on the wrong side of our garment. Then after that side, after you're done, you'll repeat the same thing again. So repeating the same row, the same instructions twice. So after I'm done with the wrong side, I'm going to do the same for the right side as I did, reducing the stitches by 4. Then when you are at the last 2 stitches, you make an SKPO. The last one. So coming back again, I'm going to cast off 4 stitches. After casting off, I'll knit till I have 2, then make the SKPO. After repeating those last 2 rows, we're going to remain with 4 stitches on the needle. Then from there, you're just going to cast off this side. And because we are done with this side, then move on to the other side of our vest. So cast off. And then it's the last one. And we're done. Done with that side of our vest. So it looks. one side is done, and I want to replicate what I've done on this other side so that our bust looks like this. It has a shoulder and the neck, and then the other shoulder. So what we'll do is we're going to hold these stitches that will form the neck. We're going to hold them 24 stitches of them. Then we have, when we'll rejoin, 18 stitches on this side so that we can start binding off on this side and shape our neck. So the next step is to hold your stitches in the middle and place them onto a holder. In total, these are 24 stitches. What I've just done is transfer them to another knitting needle. Then we're going to rejoin our yarn into this side of our garment, and then just continue knitting again. So for the first step, we're going to knit two together. Knitting two together is a way of reducing your pattern. In this case, I'm going to knit these first two stitches together. What you do is just go into the front loops of these two stitches. Yeah, front loops, just the way we have been knitting, but in this case we are going to go into two stitches. So this is the first one, a little tricky, the first, and then the second one, and then we'll knit them. So I have my needle into those two stitches, then I'm going to knit the two of them together. By rejoining the yarn, I've just made a loop on my needle the way I would if I was starting a project. Then just knit those two together. That's it. Then from here we'll continue again the rest of our pattern. We have 14 stitches on this side, then on the wrong side we're going to reduce the next 4 stitches, going on till we are done. Just repeat this row like the way you've done the previous row on the other side. Well, I've knit together my first 2 stitches. I released the loop that was on this needle just so that we don't have excess stitches. So after knit together, you're supposed to have 1 stitch on your needle and then continue knitting. After finishing that row, I'm going to cast off 5 stitches on this row and then just pattern till the end. So reduce your 5 stitches, then continue till the end. So after that row again, we are going to knit 2 together on the right side, then pattern till the end, and then on the other side we are going to bind off 4, pattern till the end, and then repeat those last 2 rows till you have 4 stitches remaining on your needle. The previous row I had said 5, but it's supposed to be 4 stitches. Reduce by 4, 4, 4 so that you have 4 stitches remaining. So this next row we are going to cast off 4 stitches, then pattern till the end, and then on the other row again knit 2 together, then work till the end, come back and cast off 4 stitches again. You'll have you'll have 4 stitches remaining, and then you repeat that last row again so that you end on the right side, and then you cast off. At this point I've done my knit 2 together, then just continue working into that row, and I have in total 18 stitches. Then coming over the wrong side, I'm going to bind off the first 4 stitches, then continue working till the end, and then bind off on the right side. So we've done casting off those 4 stitches. I have 4 stitches remaining. Then we'll also bind off these 4 stitches for our shoulder. Then move on to working our neck, binding off our neck. And stitch remaining, the last one. Then we'll bind off our shoulder like this. Then I'll just cut off this yarn, hanging yarn. I have it. 2 shoulders done, just the neck left. I finished casting off my neck. Then what I'll do next is seam our 2 pieces of the garment together, the front and the right side, sorry, the back and the front. Then after that, we're going to work our collar straight into the garment. So after joining or seaming our shoulder, from then on I will show you how to pick up stitches on the round as you knit along. Then from there we're going to make our collar. You can use different ways of joining your seams at the shoulder. The matcha stitch also works. There's a tutorial on that on my channel. So any can do. You can also try just seaming this way as the way you would while stitching. Then I'll illustrate how to make your collar. So after seaming your shoulders together, we're going to get started on our collar. And basically what you do is you just pick up stitches on the round of your collar. I've seamed on one side, so you're going to, after seaming both sides of your collar using the matcha stitch, I find that to be a more beautiful and neat stitch. So basically what we'll do is pick up the stitches along the collar, and then you'll pick them up as you stitch along. Then I'll use this 5mm circular needles. We want to work our stitches in the round, meaning our stitches will go round and round. What you'll start by doing is picking up a stitch. So I just want to illustrate. After seaming, you're going to pick your stitch at the shoulder seam. So you insert your needle into the first stitch. Then what you do next is just wrap your yarn around your needle, then pick up that loop like so. Pick up the loop, then go into the next stitch, insert your needle, then wrap your yarn along that, then pick up that loop. Remember, we have a tail over here. There's a tail, so we're going to pick up stitches all along this collar. Then when you get to your first stitch, remember to place a marker. The marker will guide you onto where your stitches start from. So basically just picking up a stitch and then wrapping our yarn around it, then picking up that loop, then so on. So you're going to do this till you have all the stitches on your collar inserted into your circular needles. Remember to place a stitch marker where your stitch starts. So this is where my stitch marker will be. So continue on this way, and then I will see you after knitting the collar. I'm done seaming up my shoulders, the matcha stitch. Look how neat it is. A very neat stitch. Then next I'm going to be picking up stitches on my vest in order to make the collar. What you're going to do is just insert your needle into a stitch. After inserting your needle, wrap your yarn around that needle, and that again. Pick up your stitch, then wrap your yarn around your needle, and then pick up that loop. Next, just going to shorten this a bit. So we're working into the round of our vest. Then the next thing again, just pick up a stitch, then wrap your needle with your yarn, then pick up a loop. So we're going to do this all around your collar till you get to the beginning. When you get to the last stitch, remember to place a marker so that you're able to know where your round begins at. So basically just picking up, then wrapping our yarn on our needle. I'm just doing this all round the collar. And I changed my needles to circular needles. Just picking up and wrapping my yarn, picking up and wrapping my yarn. Next stitch. Remember to make sure it's not so tight. That way it will give you a hard time when stitching. Picking up the next stitch, wrap your yarn, pick up the next stitch, then wrap. And then seaming up my shoulders, the mattress stitch. Look how neat it is. A very neat stitch. Then next I'm going to be picking up stitches on my vest in order to make the collar. What you're going to do is just insert your needle into a stitch. After inserting your needle, wrap your yarn around that needle. Turn it that again. Pick up your stitch, then wrap your yarn around your needle, and then pick up that loop. Next, just going to shorten this a bit. So we're working into the round of our vest. Then the next thing again, just pick up a stitch, then wrap your needle with your yarn, then pick up a loop. So we're going to do this all around your collar till you get to the beginning. When you get to the last stitch, remember to place a marker so that you're able to know where your round begins at. So basically just picking up, then wrapping our yarn on our needle. I'm just doing this all round the collar. And I changed my needles to circular needles. Just picking up and wrapping my yarn, picking up and wrapping my yarn. Next stitch. Remember to make sure it's not so tight. That way it will give you a hard time when stitching. Picking up the next stitch, wrap your yarn, pick up the next stitch, then wrap. I finished binding off my neck. This is how it looks. Then I'll just weave in this piece of yarn left and then just close this off. Remember our vest had an overlap on the sides, and I've done one on one side, and we have our overlap heading towards facing the back. So this is the back and this other side is the front. So make sure that the overlap on your front lies on top of the overlap on your back. Then we had 3 rows of purl stitches on either panel for our overlap. What you'll do is make sure your middle panel aligns. So that's where we're going to be stitching on. For this next step, you'll need a darning needle. Darning needle is a needle that is bigger than the sewing needle and has a blunt end. Then you're going to get stitch markers or placeholders so that you can hold your two pieces together. The front panel overlap is going to lie on top of the back overlap. What you'll do is get your handy dandy stitch markers and match the middle stitches that you had made, the purl stitches on the right side and the knit stitch on the wrong side. So you'll match the stitches in the middle because that's where we're going to be joining our panels at, there and there. Then just hold them together. I'm going to be using the mattress stitch, but a slight variation of it. So I've joined the top. I'm going to join at the hem. Remember the middle one, this one and this one. Making sure that the first and the third are also aligned. My handy dandy stitch marker, and there. I'd like to have buttons on this overlap. I'll also add decorative buttons on the overlap. That's why I'm stitching this part this way. And also on the other side, we'll have decorative buttons as well. Get a piece of yarn for you to join these two bits of your project. So I'll start by making a double stitch just to secure the yarn so it doesn't come off and rip off our panel. I'll leave a little tail behind that I will weave in later. Having secured those two panels together, you can take off your stitch marker. Now I want my stitch to come from this side, go into the front panel and out. So on the wrong side, into your first stitch, I'm going to make a stitch there. This one goes into the first stitch of the front panel and out. Good. Then remember, this stitch is a purl stitch on the right side. So our purl stitches. I'll also again insert my needle into that stitch, and if you turn your work, you can see it's going in between the V's of the second stitch. And you can also do it this way if it's hard for you to see, and into the second one of this stitch, here, the second V, in and out, just like so. So the reason why I'm saying it's like mattress stitch, when I'm done joining, then I pull them together, just the same as the mattress stitch. Okay, going on towards the third stitch, in and out. Then you locate the next stitch that you're supposed to sew into. Here's the second one, here's the third, and out it goes. Then for the fourth one, you turn again on the wrong side, on the right side. Here's where it's supposed to go in. And if you turn your work on the wrong side, you can see the V you're supposed to insert your needle into. Pull on it. Then going into our back, this is where my next stitch will be. Yeah, again I can see the V on this side. I will do the same, in and out. then in and out the next stitch, this stitch right here, and out. When you look at the stitches they're forming, it looks like the mattress stitch. And then when I pull on it, our project joins together. You can't see the seam. Bearing in mind that our front panel and the back panel are the same, so you're going to just match your stitches at the front and the back. So you continue stitching this way till the end, till you get to the hem of our sweater, of our vest, then you'll close it off.